This is the Distracted and Disorderly podcast. I'm Chris, and this is Kayla.
This is Kayla.
We're just fucking idiots.
This
Let's
is
go.
Kayla.
Coming soon. Look at
DVD.
Day by day.
Ah!
How are your eyeballs taking that right now?
They're just dilated, see?
If you're just joining us, it is
You
me
can see
and
all of my pores.
I've scored
in the
an
bags.
interview with a real ghost today, guys. Wait till you see this. Oh, okay, there she is. Welcome back to Distracted and Disorderly Podcast. This is Bad Movie, episode number 2. Bad movie? Is it a bad movie? I don't know. This is where we watch a movie that we perceive as bad via the trailer and the cover art, and then we watch it, we talk about it, we take notes on it, we laugh at it, we cry at it, we overanalyze it.
It was true
we underanalyze
to the trailer.
it. And you know what? This week, what's the movie this week?
Sworn to Justice.
Sworn to Justice, starring
I don't know.
Cynthia Rothrock, everybody. Brad
Titties.
Dourif makes a weird little stop off in here. It's just, you know what? I'm gonna start it the right way. We're gonna talk about the star right now, because she's done a lot of these kind of movies. She's also known for Skinamax stuff.
I'm going to tone you out right now. Just go
Good.
for your thing.
She's also known for Skinamax stuff. So, you know, there's always an obligatory sex scene. You get to see butt cheeks, sometimes a boob, whatever. But she is a legit martial artist, which I did not know. But she's got black belt, 8th degree black belt in Tang Soo Do, black belt in Taekwondo, karate, eagle claw, wushu, and a black belt in Northern Shaolin. Which is, a black belt in Pai Lum Teo, Kung Fu. Like, she is just kicking ass all over the practices. It's crazy. It's just good. I thought it was cool. She's like some sort of champion. She's been inducted into the International Sports Hall of Fame, Kayla. Think about that.
What?
She was inducted into the International Sports Hall of Fame because of her martial artistry.
Really?
Yeah, she's legit. She's legit. And that's what blew me away. And she somehow became like a B and C movie, star, I guess, for some of the 90s. I think it started 1990, something like that. But either way, I wanted to get the nerdy part out of the way. You could tell that she's losing her mind over there having to listen to this. Oh, for those that don't know, she has no cartilage or bone in her nose. It's just floppy skin. I don't know how she did that.
I have bone in my nose. It's right here.
I see your nose do weird shit.
What does that mean?
She just says crazy shit with her. Sometimes I look over. Yeah, I don't know how you do it. My shit will break. I can't press like that. My shit's ready to break. Anyway, Sworn to Justice. This movie was so fucking 90s. Made for TV energy. But it was still enjoyable for the most part. What's your take? What's your take on the beginning when she comes in? She comes in the door.
Beginning?
Yeah. How did that start for you?
I was immediately annoyed.
Which part?
I know it's a movie. Okay? But movies are supposed to be like, I'm portraying a scene. So, like, if I walk into my house, I see shit's broken everywhere, whatever, and I'm a martial artist, sure, whatever, she's looking around, looking for her sister and her nephew, and sees her on the ground. If I see that all she's got is a bloody nose, I'm calling 911 immediately.
Yeah, she was there for like 10 minutes, and then she was like, don't die. And she was like, she died.
Yeah, but before we saw like the whole playback in her head or whatever, all we saw was that girl had a bloody nose. I'd be like, oh my God, just a bloody nose? 911. Get a tampon up there. She'll be good. She'll be fine.
You would put a tampon in your nose.
It's on my Instagram. You guys could see a tampon in my nose.
Adenovital. But yeah, so then for some reason the guys that did it are still there, just hanging around, and they're like, oh yeah, and they come out and they're like
she said it was her sister's ex-boyfriend who was abusive, and like so he was probably waiting for her. I don't fucking know, but it was all like, I get the fight scenes. The fight scenes, actually, I didn't hate a lot of them, surprisingly.
Because she's a real martial artist.
No, but not just that. Even the other guys, they were.
She knows shit.
The only fight scene that I was like, this is fucking weird, is the convenience store fight scene. Excuse me.
Wow. Canceled.
Hope so. So, but then I didn't love that she walked in and she was just like, "Ah, you're dead." No pulse checking, no fucking nothing. Just, I'll avenge you. I swear. I swear I'll avenge you.
Yeah, and
I
then
didn't
she gets
like
a
that.
chance 5 seconds later when the guys all come out, like 5 dudes come out and they're like, yeah. And she ends up kicking a major ass, but then she has to run, right? And what happens? She runs up on the roof. What she
I hate this part too. You jumped off of like
how
a 4-story
high?
building, smashed your face off of branches all the way down, and then she was just like,
Well, here's
oops.
my note right there is she jumps 3 stories from a building, only bumps her head, and even to the part where she bumped her head looked very less. It didn't even look like she hit the branch. She just like, ow, and she just fell down. Like, okay, first of all, how did she? And she just got up and ran away after that too. She was like, "Ooh, I bumped my
I
head."
maybe they were trying to portray that she had like adrenaline going, which is all right, whatever, dude. But then there's so many pieces in between that were missed that it looked like they had a budget for. Because there were some times where you had gunshots and there wasn't any like any flash on them, but
Muzzle
sometimes
flash.
there was. Yeah, but sometimes there was. So you could have added like a transition, like, oh, she was in the hospital, she had head trauma, blah blah. It cut into the next scene of her talking to some guy, and they were like, or no, the woman, and she was like, "Oh, you need time to heal, blah blah." No, like gauze on her head, no nothing. She was just like, "I had a head injury like a week ago,
Yeah.
and now I'm psychic."
And now I can grab something and be like, a crime's happening at a store downtown. Like, that's yeah, right. She went out jogging. She like put her hoodie on, got all crazy, and went out
And they thought she was
jogging.
a man. First of all,
First of all,
people thought she was a dude.
Cynthia Rothrock does not look like a man.
There's no way that you
She
mistaken her. That
has
story plot, that part of the story was so
A
unnecessary.
plus '90s
There was a
figure for a little
man.
blonde lady, and
There
they're
was a
like,
man who fucked everybody up. He was so small and he was fucking pa pa pa. Like the fucking guy at the convenience shop was
he
like,
was small and he was fast and he had no boobies.
dude, she clearly has surgically done some things for the D cups. Okay, there's no way she's a dude. Sorry,
Yeah, she's wearing like a half sweatshirt. Her belly's out. She's got a butt. Anyways, and it's like the early '90s too. But
I wasn't gonna go that far.
I noticed her. So she gets psychic abilities, right, from hitting her head in this tree. I didn't pick up on this, by the way.
I'm gonna go head first into a tree. I'm gonna fucking swing my arms back and run head first into a fucking tree, and then
Nice
I'm gonna
way
touch
of
something
not
and I'll be
saying
like,
Naruto run.
oh. I'm gonna touch something and I'll be like, this beer has seen some things. And people are gonna think I'm fucking nuts.
Well, it took me like 30 more minutes before I picked up on the fact of I was like, oh, she's psychic from hitting her head. Oh, that's one. That's one. Okay, but that it took me like 30 minutes, and I was like, oh
You
my
didn't get it
god.
from the necklace when she first touched the necklace?
No, I'm just like, oh, she's just remembering stuff because it was sentimental.
She wasn't there! You're
was
fucking stupid!
I was smoking.
I thought that she was just remembering things from when she didn't get into the fucking house.
that she was just remembering things. Listen, I
Your
have to smoke
ability,
when I'm
or
watching
sorry,
these.
your inability to remember details or attention to detail hurts me. You're writing it down and you still missed the fucking idea.
I know, I was cooked, but I was stopping randomly. I was getting bored at parts. Um,
I watched this movie all the way through.
I was thinking, here's where
Even
my
with
brain's
the
at.
ads interrupting
This is
me.
my
The
brain for
ads!
15 minutes. This time period makes people look so much older. It's 1992, and everybody looks like they're 70. They're all dressed weird, except her. Like, she's randomly wearing some good stuff, but then you see random parts. She's got, like, that fucking bonnet thing on her head and shit, and I'm like, what is going on? And then the guy, the love interest, how small was that guy's head and how ridiculous was his hair? Yo, if your head is that small, don't make your hair bigger.
What do you mean? I thought he looked good.
The love interest? You really?
The one
You
that
thought
she's having sex with.
you thought that guy looked good when she first seen him? This
When
is
she
new.
first
This
seen
is a
him
new
at the
development in
party.
our friendship. This is a new. That guy. I used to work
I
with a
thought
guy that looked like that, and
I didn't think that he was attractive, but I thought that he looked good. Like he was like I wasn't
he
like, oh, watching
he
the
looked
movie
like
the
he
whole
grew his
time.
haircut bigger to make his head look bigger because his head was so small for his body when I first seen him. Maybe it was the '90s suit. Maybe he had a big suit on. I don't know. At first I was like, what the fuck is wrong with this guy? Maybe I was too high.
Yeah, but
I
once
shouldn't
I
get that
know,
high when I watch these movies.
I don't know what you're talking about. I would have noticed if somebody looked like a fucking freak, okay? Second of all, what are
I would
you
have noticed a fucking freak.
I would have. But what? You literally make no sense. Yo. What else I didn't like? I also did not like, or you know what I don't like that you do? I don't like that even though you know what the period or the timeline is in the fucking movie, you still say things like, the whole time I was paying attention to
I thought he looked good with that middle part, with that blowback shit.
I thought he looked good. It's the time. She has fucking bangs and a blowout.
Yeah, but she can do whatever she wants, Cynthia Rothrock.
Oh my, because she has titties? You fucking sexist bitch.
She's the star.
He fit the role.
Did
listen.
you move your mic?
He
Did you move your mic?
Role. My mic is where it was before. Is this better?
No. Put it in front of you on the right in front of you.
I think I'm gonna interview like this
Can
the
you
whole
hold
time.
it? This is way better. I'm not gonna lie. Sound wise, folks, tell us sound wise.
Am I actually using this mic? What is this plugged into?
Go closer, and I can tell you.
No.
Yeah, you're using that mic. It just got nice.
I turned it way down because you yelled at me last time for it being too high.
Is there something? It's your setup. I didn't realize it was on your.
I'll hold it like this the whole time. You and your stupid fucking opinion. You literally the whole time he goes, I know what time place this is, but because she has titties, she can look like whatever she wants to because she had her titty nipples on the screen the whole time. My name Christopher. You're fucking stupid. She had terrible hair. It was so damaged. And then it wasn't even good the whole time. And you're gonna make fun of how tiny this guy's head is? Are you fucking kidding me?
His head was so tiny. But listen,
your head is big as fuck. Look at your forehead. Yeah, shiny ass bitch. What
How do I make
now?
it look smaller? Do I do this?
No, you look older when you do that.
That's how I'm always gonna be from now on. I look like Ted Danson.
You look like Christopher.
Becker.
You make that face sometimes.
Listen,
your eyes are wet.
This is my note. This is the part in the notes where I was like, she got them legs though, and then on my next note is she's psychic, and this is already like way into the movie. But
my watch told me to calm the fuck down. I can't with you. You're so goddamn dumb.
I was with you though, because at this point I was like, who's in charge of the sound? Who's doing sound? Which part had the weird sound? I'm trying to remember. Was it?
Wait, can we make a gist of the whole story and then we can bitch so people know what's going on? We're like fucking going off and nobody knows what this movie is about.
Sworn to Justice. Cynthia Rothrock plays a lawyer that defends the mentally incapable.
Nope. She's an expert psychologist.
Is that what she was?
Yep. So when she goes on trial, they're like, let's get the psychologist in for the definitions and shit. She literally studied psychology and has her PhD in psychology.
Oh my god! I fucked that up. I'm sorry. Let me start over.
You're fucking stupid as shit. Start over.
I remember that.
I watched the whole
movie. I remember that she defended people that were mentally incapable, but I didn't realize she was like an expert witness. I missed that part because I'm dumb. But listen, I'm fucking dumb sometimes. Let's see. So she comes home and her sister's ex, who's crazy, had shown up with like 4 dudes to kill her and her son.
They're part of like a gang,
which looked like it was like a 1, maybe 2 dude job. There was like 6 dudes in the apartment, but anyways, they kill them. So she comes
you're
in.
the professional.
She comes in, sees what happened, and then karate kicks everyone in the fucking head, but doesn't win because there's 6 dudes there. And it's like
who all have guns and weapons. She does not.
And knives, and she's just throwing kicks left and right. But she ends up running away and hitting her head on a tree branch after jumping from a 14th floor.
She jumped from the 14th floor.
She jumped from like the 3rd floor of her fucking building. I don't even know why. I saw her do it. I'm like, she's gonna kill herself. She doesn't even want to.
You like how she was flailing the whole time too, like a fucking dummy? No. If I'm falling, I'm gonna. You know how you like pencil dive in the pool?
You're gonna pencil dive so that your fucking shins go through your ass.
Head first.
Listen, she jumps off like the 3rd floor, hits her head on a tree branch, lands, gets up, and is like, owies, and then runs away.
Owies! Glories! Owies!
Owies, and she runs away.
You're dumb.
She grabs a necklace that was on her sister and touches it and sees events. She's psychically...
You are not... You're supposed to just summarize the story so that we can get into detail. There's a woman who plays a badass chick who fucking does martial arts and like whatever, and then her sister's boyfriend was affiliated with whatever and killed her, so she wants to avenge her.
Affiliated with Eugene's gang, and Eugene looks like Charlie Day for some reason.
Eugene is a cop and also like a gang leader,
Eugene
whatever.
Wasn't a cop. He was the gang leader. The cop was
No,
different.
you're right. It's I don't even know the cop
am right.
The cop, I just told you that.
I'm the boss.
I'll literally kill you. So shut up while I tell this because you suck at this, okay? So her goal is to avenge her sister by killing all of these guys who killed her and her son. And then she gets mixed up in all of the many men in this gang. And it just turns into like a...
Yeah, she does. Yeah, she does.
She just kicks all of their asses and then finds a love interest in the mix of things.
She finds a love interest. She goes to a couple
I hate the ending. The ending pissed me off so badly.
Oh, you know what I forgot to do? Watch the last 5 minutes of the movie. You're going to have to fill me in.
Wasn't really. Where did you leave off?
I forget. I don't know why I had to stop it.
Did you get to the scene where she finds out that the cop is also the gang?
Yes, I saw that. I saw that. She finds that out.
So after Mr. Manboy got shot in the face.
No, don't do it yet. Don't do it yet.
He bang.
She bangs the cop?
No. He bang. He got shot.
The cop?
No.
Her boyfriend?
The love interest. Yeah.
Did he get killed?
Should I wait to tell you?
Listen, let's get back to the story now. People get the gist. Okay, so randomly.
I'm sweating.
First of all, yeah, I know it's usual. So randomly, so the first part of the movie is all like, wah, wah. She sees her dead nephew and sister, and then she fights and she gets away, and then like next thing you know, she's jogging and she decides to go to a convenience store, and there's like what?
She's not jogging.
Yeah, she went out for like some sort of run or whatever. She knew what she was doing, but she made it look like she was a jogger because she went out and did her thing.
She went to go open her Advil bottle. It was empty. She was like, fuck. Grabbed her keys and went to the convenience store to get more Advil.
Why'd she get all sported up?
She's in her comfy clothes. She was wearing that beforehand. She just threw the sweater over what she was wearing because it's cold outside. Much.
You know what I didn't miss? You know what? At this point, I was laughing at the Advil container because half the label was ripped off because they couldn't show Advil.
It's probably also because girls, just all of the labels on everything in my purse are just fucked.
Listen, you think I don't pay attention to detail, but I noticed the dumb details your mind skipped over because I
didn't skip over that. I saw it. You want to know what I saw though? I was like, oh, that was in her purse because every bottle of like medicine that's in my purse ripped off or fucked up. I've either dumped water on it or it's been through the ringer in my purse.
Maybe they're too real. Maybe they're too real.
Yeah, I guess.
Anyways, so regardless of the dumb parts of the story, I'm saying, why was that convenience store fight so zany? That's where I was talking about all of a sudden.
Why was the guy who came out of there just cackling at her? You were in there the whole time? I mean, would you steal it because you couldn't get cashed out? That guy was like, and fucking had something in his hands, like staring at her all fucking weird. And then he just walked out. I was like,
It was so weird. Dude. It was so weird.
Okay, man. Grab your shit and leave. They don't care. They're robbing the place. So are you.
Yeah, that's where the note I wrote was she just randomly walks into murders and robberies. That's her whole life.
She finds it. That was the only time she accidentally walked in.
But then it shows her she's talking to the psychologist, right? And he's got to be like that guy. This is your psychic abilities. He was all German all of a sudden. He's like, this is how you're going to do it. I
couldn't hear his accent like halfway through when they were buying coffee at the hot dog stand. Also weird.
Yeah, who gets coffee at a hot dog stand, bro? You trying to, they brew it with hot dog water.
Whoa.
Could you imagine?
She got candy, though. He got the hot dog water coffee. On April Fool's, I think I'm going to do that to you.
He was the most stereotypical German doctor ever. She's like, what's my problem? He's like, now you see, your problem here is that you have
okay, now you're getting the...
Yeah. He was super. He had that really bad German accent with the Z's instead of the S's and all that shit. But Yeah. But then what do we see next?
After the convenience store,
Yeah, what's
she
no
she went
after
back
the
to work.
psychic? Yeah, she went to work, but I skipped some shit. Like she saw the psychic. This is around the time the bad guy was doing air guitar? That was like the
She
brother, right?
jumped. Well, no, she
Or the
bumped into little
boyfriend?
girl at the psychic's place, and that's when it confirmed that she was psychic, because she touched the little girl's jacket when she dropped
And
it.
he was like, "Z, your psychic abilities are working very well now." Anyways,
Okay. Weird. Am I allowed to talk now?
yes, go, go, go.
Your psychic abilities. That's
Your
literally how
psychic
you said that.
ability.
So she
This is
then
how
her
you're going to know if you touch
if
the
we're
psychic.
skipping everything in between except for the lawsuit, she goes to like the little party with her work
Oh
friends,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
and
yeah,
then the
yeah.
two lawyers are fighting over her
Yeah.
because as somebody who's supposed to be a psychologist in the case, you're supposed to just give like the definitions and what they could mean and blah blah. So they're like trying to sway her or pay her out essentially. But she went in, you're supposed to go in neutral and give them like what you think this means and blah blah, give them the definitions and his history and whatever else. And so she did, but then she became a little biased because she was like, he deserves to be in a mental hospital. So she was still professional, even though she found out that Chucky's voice actor was a
Brad
part of the
Dourif.
people who killed. Why are you all blurry?
I don't know.
No, don't get closer.
That's how it gets fixed. I don't know why. That's
Ugh.
weird. Huh. Ha. Huh.
Anyways,
Ha.
so then she was like interrogating him on the side after she gave the definition, blah blah blah, because she touched the knife on the stand and she was like, he saw his dad. She saw the cop as his dad trying
We
to
jumped ahead though.
abuse
We
him.
skipped the part where she killed that dude that was playing air guitar.
Oh yeah, fuck that guy. He's useless. He was
Yeah, but he just this is one of those scenes where I'm like, this is ridiculous. He goes home and he's like, and he's playing dun 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 dun. He's playing air guitar and he's like, yeah, woo. And then freaking he hears his doorknob and he's like, oh, and he's like hiding behind the door and she sneaks in and fucks him up.
Yeah, but he was looking for like crack or meth or something
Yeah,
after he was
on
running.
crank.
Crank.
He was on crank.
But so how did she get, I forget how she got connected with his psychic vision. How did she find him? What was she touching? The knife? It was the knife, wasn't it? From the crime scene?
Maybe.
I don't know. I just watched this movie and I'm usually really good with detail, but this one just I didn't really care for that much.
Yeah, I mean it was kind of hard to watch, but it had some spots where it was like
It wasn't hard to watch. It's just like
it was for me.
it wasn't it. There's so many better like like action thriller movies. This one was just not.
90s, made for a premium channel, Skinamax usually, because there is 2 obligatory sex scenes. By the way, I think that's a Cynthia Rothrock staple, from what I'm told. She was like,
But that guy died because he got impaled by the chair.
that's how he died. Yeah, he died from the chair, and then this is
What a weird
where
way
the
to
cop
die.
visits her again at home, and he's like picking her brain, asking her questions.
She's getting naked.
And as she's like changing. This is the part where my favorite line of the whole fucking movie. She goes, "I'd offer you a snack, but I forgot to buy donuts." And he's like, "Hmm." And then she starts changing in front of him. And
No, he follows her all the way up the stairs. First of all,
she was talking to him the
You're-
whole way, though. It's not like she didn't. She implied that he should follow because she kept talking, and he was like, "Oh," and he followed her up while she talked. He didn't expect for her to just, like,
no. You read that wrong. No.
was
She
a-
never wanted him in her home,
the implication.
but she was trying to be nice. No. She did not give him any go ahead or sign or whatever. She specifically said, "I'm late, so I have places to be." That's your, hey, buddy, get the fuck out of there. But he kept talking, and she's not going to turn law enforcement away. But she's also not going to stop getting ready because she has places to be. So she was like, I don't fucking care. He's not going to touch me because he's a cop. And if he touched her, then he would be in big trouble. So she's like, oh, whatever. I don't care. And then she's like, zip me up since you just got a show. Now get the fuck out of my house. It was kind of like I don't give a fuck about anything right now. I'm trying to kill people.
very hot.
So get off my case.
Very hot in this scene. But this is where we get to the we gotta run through this. We get to the mechanic. Remember the mechanic? they're just hanging out in his office. They're like the weirdest group of criminals. They all have like suits on. They have like little earrings and shit, but they're like really clean cut white guys. But they're
Yeah,
in there.
except for the one with the eye patch.
They're in there kind of acting like thuggish, but they're not. I don't. I couldn't tell if they were trying to be mafioso or just small time punks, or I couldn't tell. It was so weird. I'm like, they look like executives and CEOs. But anyways, the mechanic comes in, and this is another one where like they're like, we know you doing cars in and out of you chopping up cars. We're gonna take, we're gonna take 40%. You're gonna still make way more than you ever made. And he's like, he goes, what did he say? I lived in Chicago, punk. I've been leaned on by the pros. And then they
They
kick
also
his
said $75,000
ass.
increase.
They kick his fucking ass after he says that. And
I
this
don't
is
like
where
the fingernail
this
thing.
got dark. This is what I'm saying. I was like, okay, the last fight with Cynthia. Well, I forget her name in the movie. I should have took that down, but fuck it.
Jane.
Jane. The last fight with Jane in the convenience store was all zany and goofy, and then this was not. This was not. This guy heated up the fucking some little metal piece and stuck
Right?
it up
It
his
was
fingernail,
Jane.
and the guy was screaming, and I'm like, okay, this got really dark because this guy Eugene is crazy. And this is where we get to her little date. Her little date with her little friend there. And the other
At
part
the party,
that made me
he
laugh.
walks her home.
Made me laugh because they get home and he's been spying on her clearly because he knows too much about her and her personal life.
Jana.
Jenna?
Jana. Janna.
Jenna.
Janna.
I'm still going to say Jenna.
It's Jana.
Jana. It sounds like you're not finishing a word.
Okay, get over it.
Anyways,
it's not your movie.
This dude is like trying to spar with her. He like slapped her like 3 or 4 times. So it was like, yo, this guy just smacked her face, dude. And then
She's trying to get it out of her because she was holding back. She's like, "I'll hurt you," and then he was like,
well,
"Bang!" And she was like,
that's
"Okay,
nice.
bitch."
You like that, right? When you're just like, oh, we just met, and he goes,
What are we talking about?
is that a good first date for you when he smacks you?
It depends on the context.
Okay, so she does tai chi in her lingerie. Looks good, but man, is this hard to watch.
Kung Fu.
This scene is so hard to watch.
Why?
That I don't know. It was like a mix of cringe and whatever because she's
The execution.
it was so bad.
Was she in a romper too, or was she in like a nightie with like a tank top and shorts?
She was in some weird nightie or something. I don't know. It was like some sort. There was the lingerie stuff she was putting on for the cop there when the cop was over there. Remember?
No, it wasn't. It was different.
This was after. Yeah, but yeah, she did change at his. Yeah, why does she have different clothes on? Now that I think about it, they were at the party and suddenly they were at his house and she had different clothes on. Like it was
Yeah,
a
no,
different
because she
day.
was wearing a bodysuit corset, and then she put the dress over it, and he had to zip her up, but it was crossed in the back. So then she wasn't wearing the corset, and then she went to the party wearing
weird.
the dress, and then when she went to his house, did he just have a change of clothes for her there? Like she changed into.
And we enter the first sex scene of the movie. I'm not going to get into it, but I did write a little song when it was going on.
No, you didn't.
I did because I don't know why, but all I could think, maybe because I'm sitting here alone, I'm high, and I'm like,
Can you feel the love?
it was more like, back in the day, I would jerk off to this because I didn't have porn at my fingertips. And I was just sitting there and I was like, yep, this is like early 90s.
That was a cringy sex scene.
Sneaking in the Skinamax when you're like 13. And
There wasn't anything showing. It barely showed nipple.
yeah, but she got a good bottom. She got good leggies. The thong, you didn't see that shit all the time. You had to go find that stuff. It wasn't common in like 92 to see a girl in a thong, first of all. Or 90, even 95. 90,
First of all,
I
you
had to
weren't
look
seeing
for that.
anybody in a thong in
I had to look
92
for
because
that.
you were like 30 in 92. So you were definitely not getting pussy.
Okay.
So
30.
yeah, you were like 30 in 92. So you weren't seeing pussy ever. Definitely a virgin. When you were
Okay,
30.
we're gonna. Okay.
Oh, don't do that.
There's the third one. So there's 2 sex scenes in this movie. Second one's way better. You get to see a lot more. So stick around for that one if you watch the movie.
No, it's not
Sworn
good.
to Justice. Yes, it is. She looks amazing.
No, it's not. It's not good.
For her age. But
Wow, that was rude. That was real rude.
you're gonna probably hear my dogs going nuts downstairs. But listen, it's not rude. It's not rude.
Yeah, it was. For her
Um,
age, she looks good.
she looks really good still right now.
She looks better than most women, not
Right now,
for
did you
her
go see her
age.
Insta? I went to her Instagram.
Of course she did.
She still looks good.
Of course she did the extra
I
research
had to do
for her
research.
Skinamax.
Research. I did not Google her and then the word naked. But let's see.
I'm gonna do it right now.
The more, yeah, there's good stuff on there, and there's other stuff that's not her on
There's no
there.
way you actually looked that up.
Oh yeah, Cynthia
She's not.
Rothrock naked, and then Google
You
search.
really did that?
Oh yeah.
You're a bad person. I'm gonna do it right now.
Don't share it. We'll get taken down.
I'll share it.
Anyways, this part of the movie while you're looking this up, I realized that Eugene, the
She's
main
not
bad
naked.
guy. Oh, there you got to scroll through there. Eugene, the main bad guy, starting to look more and more like Charlie from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia to me, and it's just it's driving me nuts.
There's nothing of her naked on here.
You're a bad Google searcher.
Well, good thing, because she's still really
But
pretty.
we're getting towards the end here, which is good. We're almost at the end of our time. But this is the part where she sneaks into his little lair, right? And he's saying something like, what did he say? Like, oh, when I find you, you little bitch. He said something. What did he say about her thighs? Tell me that line again.
I'll strip your flesh from your creamy thighs.
Is this the part where she's like, back here, bitch? And she's like across the flat?
Yeah, she fucking pours
Back here,
gasoline all
bitch.
over the fucking garage, and then they blow it up, and then Eugene's brother dies, and then he puts him in a chair and talks to him like
Oh
he's
my
still
god,
alive.
yo, he still has him. He's like, you see my brother? He's all burnt up now. And he's like sitting there with his brother. His brother's hair,
He's,
by
like,
the way, is
touching
not
his
burnt
face.
at all. His whole face is charred. Hair looks perfect.
If you watched closely while they were zooming in on his face, his eyes were twitching, so he wasn't playing a good dead person.
Yeah, but his hair wasn't even singed at all. It was perfect. But yeah, back here, bitch, and then she burns everybody. I was like, Jesus Christ. But this
They
is where
deserved it.
her friend gets car bombed. Remember?
Oh, yeah, because this is his payback. He goes, she did this to my brother. He got all crazy eyes. He goes, I'll get her back so you guys don't have to do anything. He got all crazy with his little underlings. And then her friend was like getting her out of a situation because her and her love interest got into a fight, and he was waiting for her to talk to her. And she's like, I don't know what to do. She's like, I got you. And then takes her keys. She goes, meet me out back. Goes to her fucking car, blows her up. She goes over there, and then her friend who's dying confesses her love for her.
And also, that guy
She was like,
drops.
I'm jealous.
First of all, they touch the body from a car bomb from an obvious murder. Then he drops like flowers on her face or some shit. I'm like, what is he doing? It's a crime scene. He just like laid flowers on her. The cops didn't even get there yet. He's disturbing everything.
Well, he wasn't gonna give them to Jaina. She fucking
Jana.
Jaina. I don't know what it is, but she then hugged the cop, and he was like, "I'm here for protection." And then she was like, "Don't fucking touch me, bro." Got in the car. Then the guy, the love interest, who's super smart, reported his vehicle missing. They found it with the tracker that he had in his car, and then instead of him telling her who it was, they couldn't see who it was. He's like, "Oh, glad I found it," and then followed her inside and saved the day. We skipped over the second sex scene, but that's fine. He was like meditating, predicting her future, and finding stuff. It was a little weird.
And then they had sex all the way up the stairs and into the bedroom. And this is where you see the real nudity, folks. Stick around for that part.
There's no nudity.
Oh, there's boobs. There's booty cheeks. There's underwear.
You see more than what she showed at the beach, you guys. It's really like he's acting like a 13-year-old hornball.
First of all, tell me about the ending. So she finds out that this cop who's been popping up left and right and asking her questions is actually behind a corrupt organization that's going on, and he's like above Eugene and them.
He's the guy.
Which we learned. I kind of had a suspicion because when he beat him up behind the dumpster, that looked fake as hell.
Oh yeah, no, that's when I knew he was. Well, no, he was the guy. He's like head of the organization. So. But anyway, so they get to the last scene where they're all fighting, and Mr. Love Interest shows up and saves her because they were going to shoot her in the face, but he like cracked the window. And then Mr. Mans, head of the organization, shuts the light off, and then they all just start beating the fuck out of each other. And the guy behind the bar just is doing nothing, and then magically just starts to, kick in with a shotgun at the end. I was like, all right, dude,
This is the part I
whatever.
didn't see.
Oh, well, so part of the fight scene is they're all starting to fight. Like her love interest shows up, starts fighting with her. Like she literally climbed up a wall. You know those things at the playground that have the ropes and it looks like spider webs, but it's like in a pyramid?
Yeah.
It kind of looked like that, but on a wall. And so she's climbing up this, kicking people in the face, punching people out. He's across the fucking bar, like looking at her, making sure she's good, and also beating the fuck out of Eugene and whatever. So Eugene and him end up doing like a one-on-one fight that they zoom in on. And then the bartender grabs her love interest's hands and he like fucks him up, and it's fine. He's like, whatever. He like hits the bartender out of the way. Then Eugene grabs glass bottles and comes at him with fucking broken glass. So he's like, nope, whatever. Kicks him against the wall. Then the bartender pulls out a shotgun and her love interest ducks and misses, and he shoots Eugene. Eugene's just blasted. He's done now. So
I should have finished
so
it. I
then
can't believe I forgot. I was supposed to go watch the last 10 minutes earlier and
so
I blacked
it's
out.
so bad. But then so they're like the cops are like, we're coming in, blah blah. So the love interest leaves. She leaves. They find the cop on the roof. The cop on the roof shoots her. Or no, goes to shoot her. And then
You're
what's his
so
face
bad at
climbs.
telling this.
It was all over the place. It was really terrible. The last end scene was like bing, 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 like very fast, like worse than the other ones. So then her love interest climbs up a ladder onto the roof where they're at and like makes a noise, and then he shoots him in the shoulder. Doesn't fall off the ladder, by the way. Somehow, like, just makes it up on the building, walking perfectly fine. She kicks him through like a glass window on the roof, and he falls to the fucking floor. So then she's like, you took a bullet for me? And he goes, wasn't part of my plan. And then they make out. And then
wasn't part of my plan.
yeah, exactly. So then she's like, there's a fire escape over there. Can you make it? And he goes, yeah, it's fine. And then he awkwardly climbs up with one hand while she scooches him up on her shoulder. Like his butt is on her shoulder. And she like helps him up while he's got one hand on the fucking ladder. And so then they get out, but then it cuts. You don't know what happens to the cop guy. You don't know if he's alive still after smashing into the building. Like everything just cuts to a completely new scene where they're just quitting their jobs. They kiss and then the movie's over. I hate the ending. I'm like, did they die? Is she in the clear? Was she being investigated? The fucking lawyer lady was like on her case for a while and then nothing happens now. I don't know.
Sworn to Justice. Thank God Brad Dourif had a spot in there being real good in that like 5 minutes he was in the movie because he was fantastic. But Sworn to Justice, that's what you listen to today on Distracting and Disorderly podcast. We were a little manic. We were all over the place at times. Kayla could barely put the end of the story together, but look at that smile.
Distracted and Disorderly. It's in the name.
We're still streaming. We're still streaming on Thursday nights, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It is hot as fuck. I turned my AC off to run this podcast just for
I
you
did
folks.
too, and now I'm
just
sweating.
For you folks. Hold it in. But we're still streaming Thursday nights, 8 p.m. We should start doing this at the beginning of the show so people have to listen so they can't shut us off. Anyways, at Navital, at CK Rips.
Yeah, you bored them to death with a definition that nobody fucking cares about.
Everybody cares.
Stop doing that. It's annoying and nobody. I didn't want to listen and I'm a part of the show. I literally grabbed my alligator clips and I'm like, doodly doo, fucking whatever.
Distracted Disorderly podcast. DistractedDisorderly@gmail.com.
Don't cut me off like I'm not important.
Find us. You're not important. We'll go find us on the socials.
Email
us. Watch us live
on
Do not watch us live on Thursday nights, 8 p.m. We're still fucking around Fortnite. Come find us. Maybe we can play. Maybe you can hop in the chat. We can chat it up. Don't roll your eyes, young lady. Let's see. Anything else from you? I won't talk ever. Listen. Oh, what did you think of this movie though? What was your like take on it? There was no depth. Right.
We got to do a rating like we always do, but you want to jump the gun and leave. The people don't even know.
What's the rating?
Out of 5?
Out of 5.
I give it a 2.7.
Wow, you got the 0.7 in there. You know what? I'm gonna go ahead and give it like a.
And the only reason it was a 0.7 was because she actually knew martial arts.
I'm going to give it like a 2.5.
Her martial arts was crazy.
And it was really riding on the fact that she looks great and is really good at martial arts. And also, 0.5 of that was really Brad Dourif just bringing it up half a notch for everybody.
Because she looks great.
She hates that. But listen, distractingsolely
You're
at gmail.com.
such a boy.
At Novitle,
sometimes.
Novitle. At CK Riffs, CKRIFFS. Go check it out. I got some music out on Spotify. Christopher K. You can find
Are you
me
sure
on
that's
there.
how you spell it?
That's how with an F. Christopher with an F.
That's how I with an F.
Christopher K. Dot. Period. I got a few songs on there. Check that out. I got some stuff coming up in the near future. I'll be promoting. What do you got there, lady?
Next time, can you guys email Chris and let him know not to do those long ass boring definitions in the beginning? Because if I heard that on podcast, I'd skip it.
You wouldn't want to know that the star of this C movie is like a 5-time black belt. Like, you don't care?
Not the way that you explained it. You could have just said that, what you just said just now. Instead of bringing up the Wikipedia article, you could have been like, hey guys, this girl's this. Let's get into it.
To know that stuff.
They can look it up on their own time if they care that much.
They want us to tell them.
Nobody wants us to tell them.
They want us to tell them.
Who?
Anyways.
Let's get a poll. Let's get an email in. You let us know if you like when Chris does that. I don't. I think it's annoying. But you guys, if it's for you, we'll do it for you.
Hit us on the socials, the emails, Distracting Solely Podcast. Thank you for listening. Say goodbye, Kayla.